The Secret Garden. Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a young girl named Emily. Emily had just moved to the town with her family and was excited to explore her new surroundings. One day, while she was exploring the backyard of her new home, Emily stumbled upon a hidden garden. The garden was hidden behind a tangle of bushes and vines, but Emily could see a glimmer of colorful flowers peeking through. Curious, she pushed her way through the overgrown plants and found herself standing in a magical garden. The air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers, and the sound of birds chirping filled her ears. As Emily walked further into the garden, she noticed a small, rundown cottage in the corner. Sitting on the steps of the cottage was an old man with a grizzled beard and dirt-stained overalls. "Hello there, young lady," the old man greeted her with a smile. Emily introduced herself and asked the old man about the garden. The man introduced himself as Mr. Smith, the former gardener of the garden. He explained that the garden used to be the pride and joy of the town. But over the years, it had been forgotten and neglected. Feeling a spark of curiosity and determination, Emily decided that she wanted to bring the garden back to life. She knew it would be a big task, but she was eager to take on the challenge. And so, a new friendship and a journey of restoration began in the secret garden. Emily wasted no time in sharing her excitement about the hidden garden with the other children in the neighborhood. She gathered a group of new friends, and together, they set out to explore the garden further. As they entered the garden, Mr. Smith appeared, his face etched with a mixture of surprise and joy. He welcomed the children and shared stories of the garden's past glory, describing the vibrant colors, the buzzing bees, and the laughter that once filled the air. The children were captivated by Mr. Smith's tales and were eager to help restore the garden to its former beauty. They listened intently as he explained the different types of flowers and plants that used to bloom in the garden. And they were inspired by his passion for gardening. Emily and her friends rolled up their sleeves and got to work. They began by removing the weeds and debris that had taken over the garden. With each weed pulled and each plant watered, the garden started to come alive once again. Despite the challenges they faced, like pesky squirrels digging up newly planted flowers and a sudden rainstorm that soaked them to the bone, the children remained dedicated to their task. They learned the value of working together as a team and supporting each other through difficult times. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the garden, Emily and her friends sat back, admiring their hard work. The garden was slowly transforming back into the magical place Mr. Smith had described, and the children felt a sense of pride and accomplishment fill their hearts. And so, their journey of restoration continued in the secret garden, fueled by friendship and a shared love for nature. The next day, Emily and her friends returned to the garden full of excitement and determination. They continued their work, planting new flowers and repairing the old fountain that stood in the center of the garden. Mr. Smith looked on, his eyes shining with pride at the children's hard work. As they worked side by side, Emily and her friends found themselves facing various challenges. Birds would swoop down and snatch newly planted seeds. Playful rabbits would nibble on the delicate petals of the flowers. And a mischievous raccoon would tip over their watering cans. But the children did not give up. They learned to protect the garden from the animals by putting up scarecrows and installing fences around the flower beds. They worked together to devise creative solutions to each problem they encountered. As the days passed, the garden began to thrive once more. The once barren flower beds were now bursting with color, and the fountains sparkled in the sunlight. The scent of blooming flowers filled the air, and the sound of buzzing bees and chirping birds returned, just as Mr. Smith had described. The children were overjoyed to see the garden transformed into a beautiful and enchanting place. They had learned the importance of teamwork, patience, and perseverance. They had also formed a deep bond with each other through their shared love for the garden and their hard work to restore it. As they sat together under the shade of a blossoming cherry tree, Emily and her friends celebrated their success. They knew that the magic of the secret garden lay not only in its beauty, but in the friendships they had formed and the lessons they had learned along the way. And so their journey of restoration and friendship continued in the secret garden, a hidden gem waiting to be discovered by all who sought its beauty. One day, a strong storm hit the town, threatening to destroy all the hard work the children had put into restoring the garden. The wind howled and the rain poured down, causing chaos in the garden. The children huddled together, unsure of how to protect their beloved sanctuary. But then, Emily had an idea. She rallied her friends, and together they worked quickly to secure the fragile flowers and protect the fountain from being damaged by the storm. Despite the challenges, they stood united, using their newfound teamwork and determination to battle against the elements. As the storm passed and the sun emerged from behind the clouds, the children looked around the garden. Though some flowers had been flattened and the ground was muddy, the garden remained intact. The children realized that their bond and determination had helped them weather the storm, strengthening their friendship in the process. Filled with a sense of accomplishment and unity, Emily and her friends continued to care for the garden, tending to the flowers and enjoying the beauty they had restored. Mr. Smith watched proudly as the children laughed and played among the blossoming blooms. The garden had become a symbol of their hard work, friendship, and resilience. It had taught them the value of working together and the magic of nature. The secret garden had truly become a place of joy and wonder for all to enjoy.